going on, guys? We're here, a new week, a new video. So, how are you guys doing? It's your boy Drought. We're going to talk about today's topic. Since it's a hot topic, since Resident Evil 8 Village is out. I don't even know if that's the proper way to pronounce that. It's probably Resident Evil Village. That's the way we're going to call it from here on out, or just straight up Village. We're talking about game quality. No, not quality. Let's not talk about quality because this is part of it. But length of a video game. What is a correct length in a game? And I see a lot of people saying short games are bad games. Then I see a lot of people say long games are great games. And you don't hear anything about the in-between. So it's like, alright, what is good, what is bad in lengths in games? There is no problem with any kind of length in a video game. So with that said, Resident Evil Village is getting flagged for being short, which I think is a bunch of baloney and boo-boo cheese. Resident Evil 8, my personal time was 10 hours. 10 hours and 7 minutes of game time. A wonderful 10 hours of gameplay. And I'm not finished with that game. You got Mercenaries, then you can go back and the replay value of Resident Evil Village is great. You unlock Village of Shadows or Village of the Damned after beating the game. Another difficulty mode. You have upgrades for Ethan to go through. That creates replay value. And I'm not sure if people don't understand, video games are meant to be replayed in most cases. You have Nier Automata and Nier Replicant with multiple endings, and people are playing them and reading them multiple times to get these different endings. They make the game longer. I don't know if people are buying these games as like, oh, I'm expecting a Resident Evil Village to be a 40-hour game. Can Resident Evil be even a 40-hour game? And I was thinking the other day while I was driving home, what is this? Because I threw myself to the past, Samurai Jack style. I went back to the past, and I started thinking. I was like, I remember back in the day, I wanted all my video games long, like JRPG length. I wanted all my games to be at least 60-hour experiences, like my Final Fantasies, my back in the day Legends of Dragoon, Legend of Gaia, Lunar games, Arc the Lag. I wanted all my games at a very long length. All of them. Even the Resident Evils back in the day, Resident Evil 2 and 3 and 1. And I was thinking, I was like, I didn't even think Resident Evil games were short back in the day. I was just happy to play the game. Then once I beat it, I immediately played the game again. Mostly because once we got a game, we didn't have money, because we're kids, we don't have money. We didn't you know, I think that's bad. No, whatever. Anyway, we were stuck with the game. Even if a game we didn't like, we still played the game. And I think the time that we're in now, we're working or whatever we're doing, or free time. It's like, oh, I want to spend all my free time playing a long game, because we're now seeing games as once we beat it, it's done. It's like, all right, we shelved it and we go on to the next game immediately. And then people will say, oh, we're in a gaming drought because there's no games to play. It's like, no, there's plenty of games to play. Plenty of games to play, and plenty of games that we already own that we can challenge ourselves to play something different. If you judge a length of the game by its price tag and not the value that you're going to get out of playing it, you're going to have a bad time. Any game can be long if you want it to be. Any long JRPG can be a short JRPG if you want it to be. It's up to the player to make the length of the game or fun factor. Hey, if you see yourself wanting Resident Evil Village and you wanted a long experience, first of all, you want a long Resident Evil experience? I'm sorry, son. All Resident Evil games, if you wanna put it down in the fire, they're all short. And I bought every one at full price tag. I love Resident Evil. I love those type of games. Now, if they release a Resident Evil game that's an hour long, no, screw that. That'll do better. I don't want that. Resident Evil is perfect length. Perfect length because they give you so much variety. Let's go down. Let's go down the list. Let's since we're focused on Resident Evil as the theme for this, let's go back to the beginning. Resident Evil 1. Chris Jill campaign. 2 different campaigns. First playthrough is always gonna be a long one because it's when you get it down, you want to get speed ups, then you want to get the upgrades. That one didn't have upgrades, but you want to get the hidden weapons and stuff like that, speed times. Then they get different unlocks. Well, it was cool. Resident Evil 2. Resident Evil 2 has a whole bunch of cool things to unlock in it. You have 2 characters similar to the last one. Then each character has 2 scenarios. That's 4. That's 4 games in there. 4 games. But people didn't like it. It's 4 games. We had fun with that. Resident Evil 3. You might think Resident Evil 3 is a little different, but the Nemesis showing up whenever. Then you have the pick your scenarios with Jill in the original. It was great. Then you had Resident Evil 4. Resident Evil 4 flipped the whole Resident Evil shenanigans and turned it upside down. They say what? They just said what? Then you got the merchant, upgrade your equipment. First Resident Evil thought you could upgrade your equipment, pretty much. Make it more powerful. Then you can choose what different weapons. Heck, you can play the game any way you want it to, just because the different weapon setups you can do. Resident Evil 5 was pretty much an upgrade of 4 in aspects. I'm kind of going off topic here because like I said, we're trying to find the perfect length in a game, and there is no perfect length in the game. That's what I'm telling y'all right now. If there was a perfect length, well, there is a perfect length in the game. The player being satisfied in the product that they bought. You can't buy a game. Let's use Persona example because I know some people talk about Persona a lot. Persona 5 is a long ass game. Persona 5 is a long game. It is really long. Really long. It took me 135 hours to beat the original. I'm still playing through Persona R, so I'm getting my thoughts on that. I'm thinking I'm probably going to put another 10 to 20 hours into Royal. As a fan and as a gamer that's buying that product, I know that game's going to be long. I'm going to invest the time in it when I get to it, and I'm going to play it at my own pace, and it's fine. I'm not going to be like, oh, Persona 5 Royal is a long game, and I hate it because it is long. No. I will say, oh yeah, I'm still working on Persona 5 Royal. It's a long game. I'm having fun, but I got to pace myself. Or if I just try to just force myself to play it, I'm not gonna have fun. And I don't want that. I want my Persona 5 experience to be on point. Same thing with short games. I want it on point. Short games gives you that feeling. You can pop it in, beat it instantly if you want, or you can take your time and just look around and just do what you gotta do. Onimusha is another game series that's very short, but it's fun by how you interact with the game and do what you want to do. It's all about the player that makes the length of the game. Honestly, the developers they give you point A to point B. There you go. They'll be like, all right, the game is 6 hours long. You know, like, boom, the game is 6 hours long, and we'll probably put 3 hours of cutscene, so 9 hours. 9 hours a game. Cool. Give me that 9 hour game, and if I enjoyed the game enough and had fun with it, I'm coming back to that game, and we're gonna bust that game up to probably 30 or 40 hours, just because of the type of content you have in the game and what I can do in the game. Because it's fun. Y'all forget. Because it's fun. Why are we having trouble having fun with games? Why are we nagging a game for any kind of mishaps? It's short, the graphics, the sound, like people will find anything to just whack it up. So, I'm going to wrap this up by saying, as a player, we ultimately judge the length of the game. If you're playing a game and you're not feeling it, let it down. Come back to it a little bit later. It doesn't mean it's a bad game because you're dropping it. It's just because you're putting it down, you're going to come back to it later. I'm always like that. There's games I'm ongoing playing still because I know they're long. And mainly Persona 5 are. So guys, I want you guys to think, and I want you to write in the comments what you guys think about this. Like, I know if because I know sometimes a reviewer say, "Oh, the game is 12 hours long," and the people are like, "Oh, I won't buy it at all." Then they'll wait for a sale price. Then they'll get it when it's on sale. It's like, yeah, it's a 12-hour game. It should have been 20 hours. I'm like, no, 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 no. I bought Okami for $5, and that game is freaking like 50 hours long. That game's long. That game's long. I would gladly pay $60 for Okami. I would gladly pay $60 for a short game as long as I have fun with it and I can keep on playing it in different type of styles. I feel like most people or gamers or whatever you want to call the word is not their attention span to be creative within a game. Minecraft, for example. I can't play that game worth crap, but people can play that game for hours upon hours because their mind expands on it. We need that in every game. Depending on the player is the length of the game. That's it. The perfect length to a game is the player. If you drop a game, that's you. That's you. That's you. That's you. You dropped it. That's the length of the game. You dropped it. And you probably was like, oh, this game's bad or trash. But it could be like one of the greatest games in the world. You just have to give it a shot. That's all it is. There's no perfect length in the game. The player is the length of the game. And I know money is important to anybody that wants to buy a game. You know what I mean? And it's okay if you see it's 10 hours and you're like, okay, I can't spend $60 on it if I would beat it instantly. Cool. No pressure on you. But I'm just saying that's like, you're missing out on great stuff. Sometimes. Now, if you tell me if it's a brand new game, IP, and it's 10 hours, and I'm not sure on it, okay, then I'll be like, all right, this is taco salad. I don't know about it. Anyway, that's today's video. Hope you guys enjoy it. Hit me a like if you enjoyed it. Hit me a dislike if you didn't like it. Hit me some comments on the bottom of some of your favorite short games that you played, give me your favorite in comments below. Give me your favorite short game and your favorite long game that you ever played. I'm curious to hear your thoughts on those and your thoughts on gaming time. Until next time, I'll see you guys. You guys be safe. All right.